Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. How are you folks doing there? Very good night to each and every one of you, wherever you guys are joining us from around the world tonight. Let's fight. Good to see so many of you already joining the live stream from so many places, different shores. Estelle Griffith, Alishir Greenwich, Joan Stephanie, Joylyn Cook, Patricia Leacock, Debbie Morgan. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you guys are coming from, wherever you guys are picking us up from around the world. Some of you are on Twitter, some of you are on YouTube, some of you on the Facebook. Whole day y'all on the Facebook. Good to see you guys. Really good to see you guys. Folks, we fired up here and we are ready to go. Fired up and ready to go, guys. What about you? What about you? We hope you guys have had a fantastic day. We hope you guys have had a beautiful day. We had a good day today. We had a good day today. It is the Lord's doing, we say. The man upstairs, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Good to see each and every one of you. Onika Gordon, Amber Love, Diane Bridden, Edina Estrado, Onessa Wardine, Matthew James, Eva Butcher. Good to see you guys. Janet Edwards inclusive. Sharon Eastman, Akula, Thomas, am I pronouncing it right? Hope so. The Brooms. Good to see all of you guys, wherever you are picking us up from tonight. Around the world, folks, around the world. Guys, we hope you guys have had a good day. Whether at work, you went to school today, or you just stayed home, or you went out, you had some business to transact. You did so with honesty, with integrity. You did so with character, guys, and they can't hold you, you know. You see, when you got those things, when you got those combination, Nalini, Minty Graves Zandy, Diane London, Welchman, Beatrice Selby, Dave Durrell. You see, when you got them kinds of things, they can't hold you. They can't hold you, you know. They can't style a stylist. Good to see each and every one of you guys. We are well at this end. We had a fantastic day and everything. We're going to give thanks because the good book says, this is the will of the big man concerning our lives. So we're thankful for all the experiences. We're thankful for it, folks. You see, in this business, you got to expect certain things. Keith Langevine, my good friend, and Susan Canzias, Pauline Park, Richland, Shanika Dotson, Desiree Simon, good to see you there, Ebon Lamy, Myrna Monroe, Karen Black, yep, Shane Rafik, good to see you, Shane, good to see you, Shane, good to see all of you fantastic folks. Folks, we are fired up here and we are ready to go, and we rather suspect some of you guys are the same. Alia Ali, good to see you as well. Guys, we want to see those shares. We want to see those emojis. Come, folks. Chanel Smith Daniels, your name calling. Chanel, your name calling. Look, I was by this place by the seawall, and I hear some names, a lot of names calling. A good night to all except some folks. A good night to all except where we going tonight? Where we going tonight? A good night to all except O'Neill Giddens. A good night. You see, you guys, the people wicked, stink, and dirty. A good night to all except O'Neill Giddens. Well, I know if this is another charge, I ain't wishing people good night now. So they got emotionally distressed now. A good night to all except O'Neill Giddens. A good night to all except O'Neill Giddens. So they can say, no, the emotionally distressed. I ain't wishing them good night. No good night to you. A good night to all except. Good night to Andre Saul. Lester Weeks, good night to you. Cheryl Gillis. Angela Jordan, good night to you. Marcel Williams, good night to you. Wendy Andrews, special good night to you. Good night to all except O'Neill Giddens. Facebook user, even you ain't got the name, but good night to YouTube. Nikki Ennis. Good night to all except the Jagabats and the Trench Crappos. Monique, good night to you. Candace Wilson, good night to you. Good night to all except Anil Giddens. This is probably another charge. I didn't wish him good night on the 13th day of January 2022, and it's a charge, right? Because that's where we're going with cyber crimes in this country and so forth. On the 13th day of January 2022, you did not wish Anil Giddens a good night. And so it is a cyber crime charge. A good night to all except Anil Giddens. Terence Bowman, a good night to you. Dave Darrell, a good night to you. Oswina Tapin, a good night to you as well. Mark Doris, a good night to you. Hazel Prince, a good night to you. Polly-Ann Schultz, Audrey Cole, good night to you. Alvin Prince, a good night to you. Konaya Mingo, a good night to you. A good night to all except Anil Giddens, and the Trench Crappos, and the Nakavakamites, and the Jagabats. A good night to all except Bull Page, Onicolite, Miss Griffith. A good night to all except Anil Giddens. A good night to all, wherever you guys are watching us from around the world. We coming down. You gotta stay to the end for the rest. Folks, we wanna get through the fight card. And then we coming down to what transpired today. We're coming down for that. We're coming down. I can't disclose all of it, but as much as I can. I've been cautioned, I've been warned, I've been advised by my attorneys. But we're coming down. As much as I can say, I will say, Deanne Britton, a good night to all. Right, bring your umbrellas. Somebody can hold an umbrella for Anil. Paulette Niles, the Open Foundation. Monique Jacobs, a good night to all except Anil Giddens. Folks, tonight is the night you want to share the live stream. I thought it was last night, but it's tonight. You understand me? It's tonight. Folks, I am not fearing any man. I am not fearing anything. My eyes have seen the coming of the Lord. I am not fearing any man, and I am not fearing anything. The police got to do what the police got to do. They got to do their work, and they got to take their instructions. They got to do what they got to do. Them boys got to eat, you know. Them boys got to eat the bread. Right? Them boys got to eat the bread. And they're watching me this evening. Because the whole CID told us today. We watched in the ring, you know. We went in the ring, the whole CID. It's only because I didn't want to start signing autographs. The whole CID. So we watch in the ring. A good night to all. Except, even the magistrate I can see Monday. Good night to you, magistrate. At Diamond or wherever on the East Bank. Good night to the magistrate I can be talking to on Monday. Good night to you. A good night to all except Anil Giddens. This is not a cybercrime charge. I ain't wish you a good night. Right? Good night to all. Folks, we coming down. We coming. Stay with us. We coming to that segment. We coming down to that segment, folks. We coming down. Hold on, Emma. Hold on. Some of y'all want to rush this thing, you know. But let us give you guys a sense of what transpired during the course of the day. While I was away, while I was otherwise occupied, while I was tied up, let us show you some of the other stuff that transpired today. What's on the fight card tonight? A good night to all except, hold on, don't just fight card. Folks, you gotta love this country, you know. You gotta love this country. People don't want you call him trench crappo. Artists get a trench crappo. You just a land crappo. Right? Just a frog or just a tadpole. Right? You can't call them jagabats. Well, it's jaggerflies then. It's jaggerbirds. It's jagger eagles. Right? Everybody emotionally distressed. I don't know if it's COVID taking a toll on us. Like our emotions get soft. Let's fight, folks. Let's fight. We are fired up and we are ready to go. It is pace and power in 2022. And these are some of the events that transpired today while I was otherwise occupied. And we coming down to that section, hold on, man, hold on. Some of you are like rush the brush, you know. Y'all gonna get dabbed. Y'all are gonna get dabbed. Watch what happened today around the world. While I went in my pocketry, this Guyanese young woman, she was awarded over 800,000 US dollars. You know why? Some people like carry race in everything. They like carry race in everything. And we are told, picking this up out of Starbuck News, a Guyanese-born woman who became the first New York Police Department female captain from this country has settled for $800,000 payout from the department, the New York Police Department, over claims that a top department commander buried her discrimination complaint before he was caught posting racist messages on an internet bulletin. And her name is Sharon Bali. Nice time for Sharon. Nice time for Sharon. Stop making racial remarks towards people. You don't understand people. You don't understand their culture and so on. Keep your mouth shut. That is our advice here. So now Sharon is walking away with 800,000 US dollars. Sharon Bali. Nice time for Sharon. Nice time for Sharon. And this is one of our Guyanese folks in the diaspora, keeping our flag flying high in the New York Police Department there. Respect and manners to Sharon. Nice time for Sharon, folks. Nice time for Sharon. You know how Guyanese operate. All of a sudden, Sharon gonna get some cousins that she never knew about, some friends, some half nieces and nephews, and everybody gonna call her Sharon now. All of a sudden, because they hear now Sharon get $800,000 and things tight under the installed PPP administration. A good night to all except them and Anil Giddens. A good night to all except who vex. Who emotionally distressed. And we know them boys gonna get the recorder tonight and they're gonna be writing down stuff. Oh, he didn't wish Mr. Giddings a good night. Cybercrime. He hurt his feelings. Cybercrime. It's only they got feelings. They get hurt, you know. They can go on television. They can come on social media and talk what they want about you. Throw all the racist slurs. This administration can inject and perpetuate its racist policies, but they got feelings. Right? It's feelings, Johnny. Nice time for Sharon Bali, however. Nice time. That being said, folks, other issues on the fight card tonight. Other things on the fight card. Pace and power. That's our theme for 2022. Pace and power. And this is what Aubrey demonstrating in the PNCR. Pace and power. Aubrey's telling them boys. He's telling the Jagabats. Aubrey telling the trench Crappos and the Jagabats. He said this food prices thing getting out of hand. We got to bring it under control. And you all know what we're talking about. Planting going up every day. Bread gone up. Bora gone up. The cost of living skyrocketing. Is it more oil we find? Is it more cost of living going up? And that is what the leader of the PNCR is attacking here just today in a statement. He's saying to this installed catfish Jagabat trench Crapo regime that we got to bring these prices under control. Pace and power in 2022. Respect and manners, Aubrey. Respect and manners. They're in there to lead and they got to do something. Stop earning big salaries on the false pretenses. Stop earning big salaries on the false pretenses and actually let's do some work. Why don't we do that? Let's actually do some work, folks. Moving on to the fight card tonight. It's purgatory. I know that's what some of y'all said. Well, you all saw some of those headlines. Duncan get catch, you know. Some of y'all must say, oh, it's little Cokie the carrying. Duncan arrested. So, oh, it's something here now. He got, it's purgatory. I know that's what some of y'all are saying. Who's sharing the live stream tonight? Or are we just spectating? It's bucketeer in this country every day since this catfish, these trench crappos, these jagabats took over August 2nd, 2020. It's bucketory in this country. John Britton know what I'm talking about. Pumpkin gone up. Carlotta Barker know what we're talking about. And Jacqueline George and Kurt Heidekin know what we're talking about in this country. It's bucketory. So the fire chief, lots of allegations. Lots of allegations. The fire chief gets sent off early on pre-retirement leave. Well, you all know after the breakdown fire and the massive failing there, how they send he off. But the fire chief, like he's sleeping with somebody in his government because he come back quick. Irfan Catfish, make a whole set of eyes. A whole set of eyes. Oh, heads got to roll and all of that. They send off Calamity Edo. They send Calamity Edo off there. And then in no space of time, he was back on the job. And now we see a whole host of allegations circling of corruption in the Ghana Fire Service. And just today, as I was otherwise detained, folks, on other matters, on other pressing issues, Calamity Edo, he was sent off on early pre-retirement leave as this investigation heats up. And y'all know May calling. Y'all know May name calling. May the force be with you. For those of you who know what we're talking about, go back and watch last night's program. It's right on our page. Folks, we share this live stream. Them boys come back. And now the racket that they're running in the Ghana Fire Service, it's catching up with some of them. And now they're balling. You can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's what we're saying here. Folks, it's pace and power in 2022. We don't have time to waste. Pace and power in 2022. And so, Edo works. Them boys got what they wanted. Them boys wrote a whole petition begging the president, begging the powers that be, do not renew Edo's time in the Ghana Fire Service. Them boys believe money got to make. And Edo's standing in the way of that. He's standing in the way of that. Money got to make. So long. Farewell. Bon voyage. It was a good run. Next. Justice. I want justice. For the emotionally distressed among us, folks. The emotionally distressed. COVID got me bad, COVID got me bad. Justice. I need justice. Ever so often we get a little glimmer of it in this country. And we got some of that just today. While I was otherwise detained. We got a bit of that today, folks. Because we learned very late this afternoon coming on. Then the DPP, Shalimar Ali Haq, she has advised the police, return that file, that the rank that shot and killed Orrin Boston should be charged. Again, the rank that shot and killed this young man for no reason in his bed, in his home, for no reason, that rank should be charged. So a sliver of justice. But I always say, we've had Nigel Hughes, attorney at law, and the senior counsel in our eyes and our program several times, and he always say, you got to wait. We didn't just want a charge. We didn't just want a confession. We want to see a conviction, right? And I can safely say my attorneys now, use Fields and Stobie, respect and manners to use Fields and Stobie that has pursued this case thus far and also representing me. Respect and manners. Shout out to Nigel Hughes and team. Respect and manners. Folks, if y'all want a good law firm, if you need a good law firm, if you all need good representation, all 8,300 plus of you watching us right now, if y'all want a good law firm, I recommend use Fields and Stobie's. Justice. Long delayed is justice denied. And we've seen a sliver of it. It's not defaulting yet. Hold on. Charging is not defaulting. Don't let me get excited. We know this country go. We see a lot of people get charged and nothing ever become of the matter. And so we got a little asterisk here, but we can take what we get. Right? And we can get a little celebration and then we can move on. So little justice here, shot and killed. And we know the name of the rank yet, you know. We know the name of the rank yet. They had to go to the ORMP, the Office of Professional Responsibility in the Guyana Police Force, for an investigation and then send the file to the DPP. Right? You can imagine ranks go and shoot a man and nobody can say, it's this one here. You have to get a whole investigation just to find that out. Nobody don't know who sent them to this specific man's house or in Boston's house. That's how I felt this morning, you know. When I heard a knock on my gate, I open the gate and I see ranks outside. I said, like, I see next are in Boston here now. Like I see next are in Boston. I told my wife, I said, turn on every camera in the house and start recording. The cameras in the yard were on, living room, bedroom, all over the cameras, recording. I said, like I see you are in Boston. You understand me? But somebody, listen to me. I've said it here. I've said it here. Anything happen to me, another Rasta gonna take my place. Another Rasta gonna take my place. The great civil rights leader, Martin Luther King, says, if you haven't found a reason to die, you aren't fit to live. And I dare say, no man can take my life from me. I have willingly laid it down for my country. I have already laid it down for my country. No man can take it from me. And greater is he who is within me, who can pick my life up again. Y'all hear what we're talking here? I am not fearing any man. I am not fearing anything. My eyes have already seen the salvation of the Lord and the coming of him. You'll understand. So it's pace and power in 2022. And that is why we're grateful for this sliver of justice here. This sliver of hope that the justice system still works in this country we call Guyana, the cooperative oil producing republic. And though things tight, there's a sliver of hope that the system still works. So we're watching it. We're watching it, people. We're watching it. We're watching it. We're watching it. The police force in easy, you know. This country is not a real place. When you consider some events sometime, Judy Sealand and Carletta McFarlane, you get the impression, Guyana is not a real place. Joylyn Johnson, California Ice Apple. That's a name, you know. California Ice Apple. Mark Payne and Cheryl Gillis. It's not a real place. Right? Jagabat, hurting people's feelings. In my feelings, Johnny. Bigger company. Trench Crappos, hurting people's feelings. You know, people says, now when you get called, it's where you answer to. I get called a lot of names in this political business, but it's what you answer to. Right? When my wife says sexy, say, present. When my wife says honey, say, yes, present. It's not what I call you, know. It's where you answer to. Right? Is Trench Crappos bothering you? Is Jagabat bothering you? Hold on. We coming down. We coming down. German has born. Guyana is not a real place. A policeman, they good. A policeman, they good. Boop, the man shoot himself in the foot. Y'all think this country easy? Clive Clark, a police officer who is stationed at the Breakdown police station, according to a report we're reading here, accidentally shot himself in the leg while he was on patrol. Accidentally shot himself in the leg while he was on patrol. A policeman, you know. He good. It is said here in this report that Clark, that's his surname, was getting inside the patrol vehicle when his gun went off and he was shot in the right leg. Right? Friendly fire, your own fire. Shoot himself, you know. That's what we do in this country. Shot himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Guyana is not a real place. When we see these kinds of events, we get the impression it's not a real place we got here. Well, we wish this young officer, Clive Clerk rather, we wish him a speedy recovery. Our police force could use some young people and some good people. I dare say our police force can use some good people. I met a couple of them today. In the Garrett police force. A couple good policemen. I've known some of them a little while. Met some of them today. Some good guys, you know. They had a young one walking around, two of them with cameras. From the time I went to CID to the time I left, they were following me with cameras. I said, like, these guys know me. Like this. I don't know. I felt like they were auditioning for a job, you know. Because the only thing left for them to do is give me a mic and say, sir, you alive? Let's fight. Two guys with cameras for hours just trained me all the time like that. Can you imagine that? Two guys with cameras. But I understand what they wanted to do. And so I appreciated that. And I allowed them. I didn't abuse them. I understand what those guys had to do, you know. You get orders and you got to do your work. Quote unquote work. They got orders and they had to do the work. And so I allowed them, but it was strange. I felt like this is reality TV. Guys walking around. You get up, there cameras. You turn around, cameras. This wasn't the press, you know. These were policemen. For the hours I spent down at CID there, those guys were just always on me. Always had the cameras on and on me. I just was thinking, you know, get some Wi-Fi, give me a mic, and let's roll. Let's fight. You're live in CID, and this is what is happening. They took a statement, and I want to give you guys ball-by-ball coverage. That was my first thought. I see cameras, I get excited. I wanted to just grab a mic, plug in the Wi-Fi or whatever, and let's go. Call Mr. Blanham for interview, call Hoppy for interview, and let's pick up this. Folks, you gotta make a lemonade out of the lemons you handed, you know. That was my first thought, you know. Cameras, do they have internet here? Is it strong? They got a mic quick. We could do something. We could do something here. We can raise a little money to some. I can see a little one or two things could use fixing there. So this young officer, we wish him the best. We hope that he gets well soon. Right? But Mr. Officer, secure your weapon, make sure you thing, and then you move on. You might need some more training and so on, but he is young. He has some time. COVID surging, folks. COVID surging. Frank, Frank, for the new year, let your resolution be resignation. For the new year, Frank, let your resolution be resignation. For the life of us, we're over 1,000 confirmed cases again today. Over 1,000 confirmed COVID cases. Over 1,000 confirmed COVID cases. Right? And because of that, we were going in the right direction. We were made to understand that the Rupununi Rodeo has been cancelled this year because of the escalating COVID-19 cases. So all of you that like rodeo, folks internationally who are watching us, especially those who won't visit home a long time, as soon as this COVID thing finishes, y'all come back. We got fantastic rodeo. We got all of fantastic events happening during the course of the year. Some fantastic places to see, like the Rupununi. I don't only want to feed y'all doom and gloom. Y'all been home in a long time. Some of the 8,790 something of you watching us currently, and who are about to share the live stream and show us those emojis as well. Y'all have been home in a long time. A long time. Come home, man. Come home. Don't wait till something happens. People got to deport y'all and nobody and know y'all and so on. Come, man. Spend some of the foreign money here. Spend some of that foreign money here, guys. That being said, so Frank, this is on you. Minister of Health installed catfish. This Jagabat, Frank. Right? This is on you. This road you're being cancelled here. It's on you. Photo of the day. Photo of the day, folks. Photo of the day. This one is a sad one for me. Right? This one is a sad one for me, guys. This one is a very, very sad one for me. And I almost don't even want to go into it. I'm just trying to make sure I have my notation correctly. Like, I don't even want to go into it. because it is so sad. Let me make sure that we have we make sure we have the notes lined up correctly. And then we can take this one. A photo, oh, Father, help us. Help us. Father, help me in this country. Don't help me necessarily only. Help all of us. Right? Mabaruma. Today. Mabaruma. A father lost his young child to COVID-19. Rodeo got canceled in Rupununi. At Mabaruma, a father lost his young child. And situations are so grave in Mabaruma. There wasn't a vehicle to go from the hospital to the cemetery. There wasn't a vehicle to go from the hospital. And we're being told, no help was rendered to this fellow. No help. And this father fetched his child from the hospital in Mabaruma to where the interment was. The father fetched his... You talk about loving your children. I told you all, some of you got to fight for your kids, in this country. You got to fight for your kids. You got to fight for your children. COVID took his child. And then he took back his child and had to walk. Had to walk. God, this is a corner shop or is a country? We got a man in the feelings because he was called a trench Crappos allegedly. And he was called a Jagabat allegedly according to he. He in the feelings. And a man got to pick up his dead. Oh God, is this a country? We got a country here? The man had to pick up his dead. Only who got children could feel this for this parent. The man had to pick up his child and fetch. But it's his child. It wasn't the hospital child, so they didn't care. It was his child. You understand me? Like or in Boston, was somebody's child, was somebody's son, they shot. This was this man's child. And he lifted up his child and walked through the streets of Mabaruma with his dead. Mercy. Member of Parliament Christopher Jones would say mercy. Folks, don't worry about me being detained by these Jagabats, by these trench Crappos. Worry about this man. Worry about where this country going. Oh God, you gotta pick up your dead now. That's where we meet. That's where we are. You understand where we meet as a country? Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones would say mercy. Mercy, 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 mercy. That's where we meet as a country. He had to pick up his dead child because they ain't got a vehicle there in Mabaruma to fetch a corpse. But the love of a parent to a child is never ending. Right? Some of we bad. Like Jonesy Wales and the gang. And being governmental. But the love of a parent and child. Huh? You can imagine a mother watching Kwame and say, the love of a parent and child. Some we only a parent can love we, And this is a parent love. Picked up that child. God of mercy in this country. 20 months rather. Just under, just over. With this installed regime, with these Jagabats who in the feeling, deep in the feeling. You think they worry about the feelings of this parent? No. They worry about the feelings of this parent. They're worried about who is CEO for GCOM. Right? So they can keep rigging elections and filling their pockets. They in the feelings with that. But with this child, no. They have no time with that. Mercy is what Christopher Jones would say. Mercy. Right? Mercy. But I vex with Christopher Jones. I can let you know that. And when he come on, I can let you know I vex. I ain't mixing matters. I vex with he. Spotted. Folks, when I was doing journalism at UG, I did communication at UG. And today when I was sitting down at CID, some of those things came back to me. Every day we do these programs. Some of those training came back to me. I had a lecturer named Terence Esseboom. Respect and manners to Terence Esseboom. Right? Respect and manners. We had some good lecturers. Rhonda Hamilton. Some of them say, no, God, don't come. Oh, Father. We had some good ones, you know. We had some good ones. Some good lecturers. Right? Former magistrate, attorney at law, Sobers, what's his name? Mr. Sobers. The attorney at law, I'm asking the guys here. Mr. Sobers, Leslie Sobers, lectured me a course called Media Ethics. I sat down and I listened to these folks at the Evilary, and that course came back to me. Media Ethics. Came back to me. You know, I was listening to some folks there at CID, and sometimes even for preparation for this program, and some law courses I did when I was an undergraduate pursuing my LLB came back to me. Life is amazing. Spotted, you know, this part of our program, when we out there and we see people, you know, got a little notoriety, you know, 1 2 people know them and so on. We share it with you guys. Oh, we see this Jagabat. We see this trench Crappos. So we there today, and we spot somebody. We said we can share it with you more than McPherson. Pace and power in 2022. Idris Williams and Carl Miller, Tracy Mullin, Muriel. Pace and power. We spot this Jagabat here. We spot this Rabble Rouser by CID. We spot this one here. Y'all know this fella here? Margaret Morris. Y'all know this one? We spot he holding down a crowd. Right? But like, is he in a set of jailbirds? Because there's Annette Ferguson. Oh, they're after Annette Long now. They're after Annette Long now. Annette was there. We saw David Patterson. Well, they're trying with David. Right? And we saw Sherrod Duncan. It's a whole set of jailbirds. Folks, I tell y'all here, prison and jail is a rite of passage in this country as a politician. They lock up Janet Jagan. They lock up Chelly Jagan. They lock up James Bunn. They lock up Valde Lawrence. Oh, they lock up, what's her name from Region 5? Carol Joseph from Region 5. Who they lock up is who they had for lock up yet. It's a rite of passage. So we there. And we see we see this fella here by CID. We say, well, what story is this day? Is what problem here now? Is what problem here now? Spotting. It's what Christopher Jones, man. We spot Christopher Jones and we says a whole brigand of jailbirds here. I vex with Chris though, and I want y'all know now. Is it Chris then? I vex with Chris. I want y'all know I vex with Chris. And I can tell y'all precisely why I vex with Chris. Right? Is it disrespect for me? Where is he? Right? Is it disrespect for me? With these people, where is Christopher Jones? Is it disrespect for me? Huh? Is it disrespect? We ain't having it. Chris, let me pick a ball with you. Are you ready? Are you ready? No, is it disrespect? I felt so disrespected today when
Why
the Ghana
so?
police force had the temerity to come by my house. Not that they come by my house. Hold on. Then disrespect me coming by my house. It's who they come by me house with. But 5 of them or 6 of them show up by my house. If you sell the space out for look plenty, I felt insulted. I said, because when y'all went for Chris, y'all block off Chris Street. Y'all come night time, give you blackout to the whole neighborhood. But 500 of y'all show up. I felt truly disrespected. That's the one complaint I got by the police today. That's the one complaint I got from the police. They asked me if I want water but 50 times. They asked me if I want food but 500 times. They asked me if I want a sheet, a pillow, if I want a silly pillow mattress. They asked me if I want what's the going furniture now? Ashley. If I want an Ashley couch, all of that. I said no. Y'all disrespectful. Y'all go by Chris with 500 policemen. Y'all shot by me with 6 ranks. If I come to, I used to be somebody in this town, Christopher Jones.
Mercy. Sharon,
Mercy.
you know, you rightfully said earlier that being arrested as a political figure in opposition under a People's Progressive Party civic government is indeed a rite of passage. And what is noteworthy to mention is that in 2020, I happened to be the first person to be arrested. And it appears now in 2022, you were first on the list. And of course,
I see you trying to redeem yourself. You're trying to redeem yourself. Alex, sir, if you even up like that, I might let it go. I might let it go. But Chris, why everybody in the feelings now? Soon you sneeze, somebody vex and is emotional distress. What is country coming to?
But you
we in politics as kindergarten.
But we would already figure out that what it is alleged that you did to this individual who have him in his feelings, it has nothing to do with that. It's much more than that.
Oh, yes.
It's Sherrod Duncan on a nightly basis with 8.9 thousand viewers across the region in the diaspora who you are exposing on a daily basis, the People's Progressive Party Civic. You are essentially reminding all and sundry of the PPP that we know. It's the same PPP, corruption, nepotism, you name it, everything, cronyism, everything is the PPP.
But Chris, if these viewers causing me problems, they could take them. Let it cause them some problems too.
Exactly.
But this is hallmark PPP. They cannot take constructive criticism. They cannot take it, and they always revert to some technicality, like the technicalities they're trying to knock out the elections petition. So they find this nincompoop.
Yeah.
Right? They find this what was Barnum's word? This Nakavakamite.
Yes.
They find this Nakavakamite, right? And put it up to this.
That's right.
But we understand that he is another puppet with people pulling his strings. We understand that, Chris. And you've been in this thing a long time. I think over 20 years in politics. You've seen all sides of it. And you got a good sense by now who these Jagabats are.
Yeah. And I think one of the realization that the PPP is coming to, especially when they're dealing, for example, with the parliamentary opposition, is that this is a group of youngsters. This is a new generation. This is not a generation of the past in which the PPP, using their threats, intimidation, that they know how to govern. That is the only way the PPP knows how to govern, by intimidation and threats. What they found different now is that this generation isn't accepting that. And we will give them a run for the money. Take, for example, what had transpired in the National Assembly. And I said to people, it was after a prolonged period of time in which nothing from the opposition goes on the order paper. No motion, no questions, no petition, because they have their mans in the deer, the Speaker of the National Assembly, who sees himself as a gatekeeper for the People's Progressive Party Civic and not an impartial Speaker of the National Assembly. And we've had an entire year and a half of which we witnessed motion after motion going to the speaker, would spend about 3 months on his desk. And it's only when you protest by way of a letter and you're writing him to question, where are these motions? Then they come forward. Case in point, David Patterson submitted a motion on the 27th of October, 2021. It was only 2 days ago in 2022, after pressure from the PNC in their statement, after numerous letters being written to the speaker by David Patterson, that suddenly the motion emerged 2 days ago, a complete 3 months after. Petitions that have been submitted. For example, there was a petition submitted from the Member of Parliament representing Region Number 2, from vendors. And petition is not a bill, it is not a motion. Petition, in the most simplest term, it is essentially a letter being sent to the House of grievance by individuals or organizations. It is read out, it goes into the Hansard, and that's it. Not even that Manzo Nadir, the Speaker of the National Assembly, is allowing. And I take your viewers back to when Mr. Ralph Ramkaran was Speaker of the National Assembly. There was a total of 7 petitions that were sent in by various organizations and so forth. All of those petitions made it to the floor. Under Raphael Trotman's speakership, there was 5 petitions that were submitted. All of those petitions made it to the floor. Under this speaker, you had the second petition that was submitted by the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Lennox Schumann. And that petition submitted by Lennox Schumann spoke to organizations, political parties, groups, private sector who are calling on the PPP to delay the passage of the national.
That's how they are, Chris.
Exactly.
That's how they are. Chris, let me just pause to welcome a wanted man. We're a select group of people. You know, as I was sitting at Ivleri, you know, I want him on our level. So how we got to adjust this camera to come up to our level? We have to bring him up. There's a set of detainees and wanted people here, you know. You know, that's happening here. As I sat in Ivleri, you know, there was this and I thought about Mr. Giddings. There was this TikTok song. Thanks to Glenn. Mr. TikTok. Ringing in my ears when I thought about Giddens, right? All I'm hearing is, you want a bamba? You want to chill with the big boys? And I thought about Rickford. I said, O'Neill, you want a bamba? You want to roll with the big boys? You, this guy don't know it.
Chris, why are you laughing? This man is sitting in jail and he's thinking about me. What
You want to roll with the big boys?
Mercy.
Rickford, welcome. Talk to us, Rickford.
It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being here. Sharad, you would recall twice last week I told you that
they're coming.
My police sources called me to tell me he walked in a meeting and met 2 people from the PUP with the police planning to arrest you. And my understanding is that last night they called somebody from the government, called that young man from GCOM and told him what to do. To go and meet the police and so, and put the whole thing in train. I have my sources. I tell you, we watching them and we listening to them just like they're doing the same thing. We listening to them planning and we watching them planning. They're doing the same thing with us.
Yeah. And Rickford, after you told me that, I went home and I told my wife, I told my family, I said, if something should happen, if I'm arrested or so on, this is the gray jacket you're wearing, this pink shirt here, and this blue jeans. You can't style it.
Did you wear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the administration. This is the PPP for us. They come back. There is nothing new. Oh, God, they're so boring. They are so boring. They're so unimaginative. You can see them coming from a mile away. You can see Papa Jagabats from a mile away coming.
I told a member of Congress, the young man one of the young men that came up, the members of parliament that came, was arrested today for absolutely nothing. And I wouldn't tell you what he said, but I can tell you After that, he said their time will soon be up.
That's right.
Their time will soon be up.
But you know
I
what?
think we should allow them. Let us give them rope to hang themselves. Let us, it's fine that the American ambassador is not condemning this. She's complicit with it. But Sherrod, on a serious note, I mean, I was firing off all day on all cylinders. I was on every show, right? Because the ice pass black people. This is not an issue anymore of citizens. All three of us here, we're young black, well, I'm not that young anymore. We're black men. And they're coming after us because they feel threatened by us. We have a platform. I have a platform, right? Who's this man Burke talking to all these members of Congress? We got Kelly. And if you notice the commentary, bring him back to Guyana so we could commune him. Arrest Sherrod Duncan. These damn Jagabats. What's his name, Sherrod? What's the man name at GCOM?
He's so insignificant. When the guys told me first, I said, who? I said, like, who? You know, who?
But Sherrod, the thing is, we're laughing about it. But we should not allow them to get away with these kinds of things. There should be consequences. There should be consequences in Guyana, and there should be consequences from the international community. And it's disgraceful that we have these white diplomats who in their own country have no respect for black people, who sit down there and allow racist East Indians from the PPP. And not every East Indian in Guyana, let me make it very clear, not every East Indian in Guyana is a racist, but every racist in Guyana is from the PPP. And for these diplomats to sit there and allow the PPP to attempt to abuse the African Guyanese community, they must have serious consequences. And I said it, from the time they got away with defying the order of the court and went into Christopher Jones's home, threw the court order on the ground just like Janet Jagan did, and broke into his home and committed crimes. From the time they did that and got away with it, we know that we were in trouble in Guyana. And it must not happen. I keep repeating it all day. The people of Guyana must not allow these things to happen. Not allow it to happen. I'm waiting for the day when one of them touched down in America. One of the same Jagabats that called the police to tell them put out a wanted bulletin, let them come to America. We're going to deal with them here. Because if they could arrest people in Guyana, we could get them arrested here. So that's a warning shot across the bow. Come to America, and we're going to deal with y'all just like y'all are dealing with the people in Guyana. We must not allow them to get away with disrespecting black people, disrespecting black professionals, disrespecting young black females. Look what they did to Roxanne Myers. Look what they did to the young lady, I don't remember her name, from GCOM. When she told them she was experiencing her menstrual cycle, she wanted to go to the bathroom and they died. They told her sit there and do what she has to do. Strip the woman of her humanity. You think that anybody...
I can imagine how emotionally distressed she was.
Anybody in the Granger administration could do that to Priya Manichan or Inja Chandra Paul or Gail Teixeira? The world, the entire world would know. And they would mobilize condemnation. But they think that they could disrespect black people. And, then after this show, some of them will call me, man, Rickford, man, you're dividing the country. Or it's black people they don't have respect for, man. That's the fact. They don't have respect for us. Whether you're a member of parliament, a former president, a former minister, a chief elections officer, an attorney at law, a CEO, they are showing, and the person behind all of this is Barry Jagdale. If you call the man a trench crapper, I wish I know his name so I could call you a trench crapper too. Barry Jagdale went on critics and called a distinguished senior attorney in Guyana, man, so what? And a member of parliament, a low life. Why isn't he arrested? They attempted to kill Dr. Cummins by turning over her car. He incited violence against David Granger. Why isn't the Guyana police force investigating those crimes?
It seems as though we're not afflicted by this emotionally distressed syndrome.
Well, we're strong black people, though.
This epidemic.
That's their perception. But them alone by emotional distress. We should not allow it to happen. We can't afford to have this nonsense happen. Listen, Sharon, we in the diaspora, we are saying this. We will not allow the PPP to build a racist, ethnocratic regime, tyrannic dictatorship in Guyana and in the Caribbean. And I don't know if the Commonwealth Secretary General left Guyana. I've called on her to condemn the arrest. I've called on the American ambassador to condemn the arrest. And if she, and I'm saying American because, you know, she represents the country I live in. And if she doesn't want to do it, she's complicit with the racism. She's from the Trump era. That was the epitome of racism. And for her to sit down and allow the PPP government, no American ambassador anywhere in the world would sit down and accept the nonsense that the PPP is getting on with and attacking professionals, attacking one race. They're using the Ghana police force as the death squad. Well, Mark this morning said that it is a continuation because the police force has always been a part of the death squad. Y'all don't have to say it, I say it. Let them come after me. And for the American ambassador to sit there, quiet, and a member of parliament got arrested for what? And she's saying nothing. She's complicit.
Freedom of speech.
Huh?
Freedom of speech. Right? And then they talk about good governance and about rule of law and protecting the Constitution that enshrines certain rights.
Today, the U.S. Embassy issued a statement saying democracy is about voting. So they're running interference to the PPP. We're talking about democracy and freedom of speech, and they're essentially putting out a statement defining democracy as only integrity at the ballot. That's their definition of democracy. Running interference to the PPP, trying to distract, to me, when we were attacking the PPP about your arrest and trying to infringe on people's constitutional rights, they are the U.S. Embassy acting as an extension of the public relations strategy of the PPP by telling the people, hey, no, remember the issue with the voting? And they put in, attached to that statement was a woman voting. And they're telling us democracy is all about voting and protecting the right to vote. They are running interference at the U.S. Embassy for the PPP government. And it is because the ambassador is complicit with what is happening. If she's not complicit, then she must break her silence. Because America, the Americans value the values of the current administration. And the Secretary of State and the President Biden and Secretary Tony Blinken have both said that countries must not use cybercrime laws to stifle dissent. And that's what the PPP is doing. And they're quiet. So she herself is not carrying the message of this current administration. Well, we're not surprised because she's a product of the Trump administration.
Yep. That's where we are. That is where we are. Tomorrow I am back at CID. They've asked me to report there. I think there's something happening on Monday with a magistrate's court and all of that. We understand how these things go, and the point where we must reach. Right? We understand all of those things that must happen. But guys, we're out here and we're going to do what we got to do.
Exactly.
But Sharon, I think we should not only blame the government, we have to also examine what is going on with the Ghana Police Force. I mean, where is the leadership of the Ghana Police Force? Where are the ex-Ghana police officers to call into their colleagues now who are in, listen, with the exception of Happy, everybody below him, up to the crime chief, have integrity issues. How can the people of Guyana trust the police force when they claim to investigate these crimes and charge people, when they're fabricating charges against people, when they're taking political instructions? Somebody from the PPP, a very senior functionary in the PPP government, called me and told me that the wanted bulletin was not issued because of any crime I committed. It was somebody in the police force took political instructions, and I must find out who in the Ghana police force took the political instruction. A member of the PPP told me that. So the Ghana police force has no integrity. And every day they continue to confirm, based on their behavior, that they're taking political instructions and that they are available as the personal vendetta squad for the PPP.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think, fellas, I think we would have confirmed over time that the People's Progressive Party Civic has essentially weaponized the Ghana police force. And
Exactly.
I mentioned before about the fact that the PPP rules, the PPP governs only by intimidation and fear and striking fear in the society. And of course, there are many members of the Ghana police force who witnessed, for example, what happened with Paul Slow, another senior police officer who was dragged before the courts under some trumped up charges and so forth. So many of those persons in the police force now are very much fearful for their life, fearful for their jobs and so forth. And the PPP preys on that. Now we talk about this dictatorship because we spoke about PPP as a creeping dictatorship. We are currently living in a dictatorship, right? We are currently living in a dictatorship. The challenge that the PPP has is those voices that continues to stand up, to shout, who refuse to be silent, like the young ones like yourself, like Rickford and Mark and those folks abroad and so forth, and they're trying
And
every
yourself
means
as well.
necessary. Exactly. Now, Sherrod, you have essentially today, with your arrest, you have added to the list. I spoke with Randolph Critchlow earlier today, and I asked him to work with his technical people to update that list that we put out that pictorial display, which illustrate all of the individuals who had been arrested with some trumped up charge under the PPP. And that list has since grown because you have to be added to that. Winston Jordan, the former Minister of
Yes,
Finance, has
yes,
to be added to
yes.
that. And Gavin Matthew, and all of that have to be added to it. So when you do that pictorial display and you put that out in social media, then the gravity of the situation in this country comes real to people because people have short memories. So they look at, oh, Sherrod got arrested today. Oh, look, Sherrod go on bail. But they forget, is Sherrod Duncan, Winston Felix, Rickford Burke has a wanted bulletin out for him, Gavin Matthews, Carol Joseph, Vola Lawrence, James Bond, this youngster, Heath London, Roxanne Myers, and the list is extensive and the list continues to grow. And that's why I'm saying to gravitate the situation uh, currently that we have is that pictorial display has to go out updated with the new names. I spoke today on that program and I called upon the People's Progressive Party civic supporters and I reiterated to them that as a citizen, you have a right to support any political party of your choice. But you, as a supporter of the PPP, cannot sit idly by and observe all of these atrocities that are being meted out to Guyanese, particularly those of African descent, and remain silent. And I reminded them that as a citizen, each and every single one of us, irrespective of our race, irrespective of our political persuasion, we have a right to work, to earn, to live, and to provide for our families. And to think that you, because you're a PPP supporter, or you happen to be Guyanese of East Indian descent, that you have a good life and you will sit quietly and watch what is happening to a whole half of this population and remain silent.
Yep. Indeed, Chris. Indeed. Couldn't put it any better. Guys, final thoughts on where we go from here as we wrap. Well, I know where I go from here, heading back to CID tomorrow morning.
And I know tomorrow I'm heading to court because there are two court matters that are currently ongoing. The one with illegal possession, which involved myself, Annette Ferguson, and 4 other people, who the Guyana Police Force brought 8 police officers to testify. And as we speak to date, not one single one of those police officers have named myself or Annette Ferguson involved in any illegal possession. That comes up on the 28th of this month for ruling by the magistrate. Tomorrow, I'm back in court, and this is the matter, the civil suit that has been brought against the Guyana Police Force. It comes up tomorrow. On Miss Roxanne George Welcher will be presiding over that matter tomorrow. Yep. It's Jones versus Hoppy and the Guyana Police Force, and of course, the representation is going to be had by Fields, Hughes, and Stobie, and of course Darren Wade and so forth. So I'm back in court tomorrow again.
Fantastic. Rickford, your audio. Let me help you there.
Sorry. I think we have to start doing the same thing that they do. every time they make these comments, Barjagde goes on critics every day, or as many as often as possible, and make derogatory comments about Aubrey Norton, Rickford Burke, Amansa Walton, file criminal charges against him. Go and make police complaints. Paul Slow made a complaint under the Cybercrime Act against Anil Nanlal. Up to now, the police haven't been investigating it. The police force is not the police force for the East Indian population. If that's the case, again, I say, let them go and live in a different part of the country. If they think that the police force is theirs, the money is theirs, them a local government country, let them go and live in a different part of the country. And I am not proposing for us to divide the country. I am saying the PPP has divided Guyana. The racism that they're perpetrating has divided Guyana. The fact that they have two justice systems, police arresting only black people, but the DPP dropping all the charges against Indian people. Police kill black people, no justice. Indian supporters of the PPP kill the Henry boys, no justice. You see the picture? So if they think that they are some elitists and they are promoting ethnic supremacy, then let them go somewhere else and do it, and let everybody else who want to live in peace and together live as Guyana. They could call that whatever they want. Maybe Jagabat country or Jagabat town or whatever, right? But there must not be two justice systems. And what is when they commit crimes, they're not arrested. There's not even an investigation that has been launched pursuant to Paul Slow's complaint against the Attorney General. Amansa Walton is here tonight should file criminal charges against Barjagde and a police complaint under the Cybercrime Act for him calling her a lowlife. He grew up eating cockabelly in a trench from a hiker, and he calling that woman lowlife.
Yeah.
Why are we talking this nonsense?
As you said that, somebody just told me that the fellow who is offended, allegedly, he said he was called a Jagabat and a trench crappo. He was actually thrown in the trench at QC. That's what somebody just told me. Somebody threw him in the trench at QC. So he has qualified. Rickford Burke, the president of the Caribbean Ghana Institute of Democracy. You go right there.
The police had the temerity to put in the statement that you were arrested because you called him out a Jagabat. I have never seen what sort of police force is that?
Exactly. Oh, sorry.
Force using resources. Right now, people getting robbed all about Georgetown. They don't have enough resources to send to patrol Georgetown on the other parts of Ghana. But they have people monitoring your show, my show, who call Guyana, who Guyana call, and who call people to trench Crappos and Jagabat. But I have my show tonight, and I shall make an official presentation of the official Jagabats of Guyana.
Good.
And Sherrod, let me say this in quickly for your viewers. At this weekend, the official Jagabats Trench Crappos t-shirts will be out on sale. Exactly. Of course, they make contact with you and we'll raise the funds that way. And of course, from the 29th sitting of the National Assembly on the 29th of December, when a lot of the MPs were called thugs and so forth, their t-shirts coming out for that because it's about, I can't remember the acronym. Amansa Walton this year has the acronym, but those t-shirts as well is going to be out this weekend. And we hope that everyone come and patronize, buy 4, 5, 10 and share the t-shirts. Jagabats, Trench Crappos, t-shirts will be on sale this weekend.
And Sharon and Chris, I'm inviting both of you onto my show tonight at 9 o'clock. So I'll see you guys shortly.
Great, Rickford. Awesome. Guys, that's our time this evening. Thanks, fellas. Again, Rickford Burke of the Caribbean Ghana Institute of Democracy there in New York. Christopher Jones, the Chief Whip, the Opposition Chief Whip in the National Assembly of Guyana, Member of Parliament. Good guys all around. Great to have them with us. Guys, we sit here every evening. We sit here. We can't do these programs without you. We need your help. And you guys see now, they're trying with us in the legal system. So more so, we need your help. Come on board. Partner with us, guys. Partner with us. We have several platforms available. You can contribute to our program. You can help us out with our legal fees too. Find a way to partner with us. We got the Cash App available. Our Cash App handle is the $ in the ring 592. The Cash App handle is the $ in the ring 592. We're available via PayPal as well. guys, help our programs. We do In the Ring. We got the podcast Below the Belt. We got the website Credible Sources, and we got other things in trail. And plus, we got legal bills too. So we are available at PayPal. Our PayPal email is inthering592@gmail.com. inthering592@gmail.com. We are available via the Guyanese Cash App, we say is the MMG system. Our number there is 627-6963, 627-6963. And guys, we are available via MoneyGram, Western Union as well. MoneyGram and Western Union, we are available there. If you guys have any queries, you need some directions, our number to call, WhatsApp, is that very MMG number, 627-6963. Again, big thank you to Rickford Burke. Again, big thank you to Christopher Jones for being my guest this evening. Folks, we in the ring. We out here. Good to see each and every one of you. And thank you for all of your support, folks. Thank you for all of your prayers today. It was felt as I sat there for several hours at the Criminal Investigation Department of the Guyana Police Force. Your prayers were felt. Your prayers were felt, guys. Thanks for interceding on our behalf. And thank you for your tremendous outpouring of support. Guys, you make the difference in this program. It's not me. It's y'all who keep showing up. Tonight, over 9,000 of you showed up on this program. Some of y'all shop because y'all fast, and we know that. But we want to say thank you to all 9,000 plus of you who showed up on the program this evening, guys. Thank you so much for your show of support. It means the world to us. Come on board and partner with us so we can continue to do what we're doing, folks. You see the effect it having on the Jagabats and the Trench Crappos. And as we go, guys, it's a good night to all, except Anil Giddings. And if a charge comes for saying that, well, so be it. A good night to all, except Anil Giddings. A good night to all, except, except him. Right? Good night, Diane Britton and Laverne Cameron, Colin Adams and Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Marcia and Valerie Thomas, Clive Fraser, and Marcia Agard, Abigail Othniel Passad. Good night to you. Good night to all of you. Fantastic, beautiful people, except Anil Giddens. Folks, that's our program. Come on board, guys. Partner with us. Share the live stream. We want to see those emojis as well. Make sure you share the live stream before you go. Make sure. I think we need some music on this program. I think so. Yeah, there's something. A little send off.
You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty, you the wrong, get enough with drink, what a drop cup. Ha! Hey! Can you see how the thing go? How the thing go?
You want to bamba? You want to roll with the big boys? You want to chill with the big boys? A good night to all. Except Anil Giddens. Lexi Boss, good night to you. Yvonne Green, good night to you. Clive Barrow, Auntie Sandra Hanover. Poor People Justice. Winston Carr, good night to you. Carla Barker, good night to you. Janet Coates, Leslie Benjamin, good night to you. Mark Alman, good night to you. Joanna Lynch, good night to you. Stacey Ann, is it that? Stone. Idris Williams. Folks, have a fantastic evening. Stay safe wherever you are. Make sure you are socially distant. Make sure you are sanitizing. Make sure you're wearing your mask if you're in public or you're among folks. And remember to practice all the COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety, that of your friends, family, and loved ones. A good night to all, except stay safe, guys.
You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty, you the wrong, get enough with drink, what a drop cup. Ha! Hey! Can you see how the thing go?